Hello, my friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me, I am Sarah McGuire from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today's project is this one. So it might look like something's missing, the sentiment, but it's actually on the inside. So I'm going to show you exactly how to make this super cute, inspiring, and uplifting card using the Beauty of Friendship stamp set today. So if you would like to see how to make this card, please keep watching. So to start this card, we're going to do a little bit of stamping and a little bit of ink blending. Let's start with the stamping. I'm using the Beauty of Friendship photopolymer stamp set. It comes with 13 stamps, and this is a two-step stamp set, meaning 2 stamps create 1 image. So I use these 2 here, and the tree trunk, the sentiment here, this bottom piece. I used a bunch of stamps. I have them all here on blocks. So let's get started with our tree first. So there is a solid image, and then there's a more detailed image, and that is the 2-step part of the stamping. So I have both of those on D blocks. I have our tree branch, stem, trunk on an I block. The little dots are for the inside. The sentiment is for the inside. Those are on an A and C block. And I have the little bottom part on a B block. So let's start with our tree. So we're going to go with Evening Evergreen. Let me move my card out of the way. I'm just going to open my pad. And what we're going to do is start with our more solid stamp. So you can see it's more solid. There's no ridges or anything like there is on the detailed one. So this is the one we're going to start with. I'm just going to ink that up. And I am going to stamp off once, meaning I'm going to stamp onto my grid paper. You can already see I've made this card one time because of my grid paper. But messy grid paper is fun. So I'm just going to put that down, and you can see how it's lighter because we stamped off. Now we'll take our more detailed stamp, and my Evening Evergreen is kind of running out of ink, so I'm going to make sure to get it nice and inked up. And then I'm going to line it up with my grid paper, and I want to be careful to line this up as good as I can, because I don't want, if you get too far outside of the outline, it kind of almost looks like, have you ever seen like a blurry photo? That's what it looks like. It kind of blurs a little bit. This is perfect. This is exactly what I want. So before I put the Evening Evergreen, well, we'll do that in a minute. Let's do the rest of our tree. We'll finish that up, and then we'll work on the inside of our card. So for the tree trunk, I am using soft suede, and for the little part underneath, I'm going to be using smoky slate. So let's get out our soft suede and our tree trunk. I'm just inking that up. And then I'm going to make sure my branches go into the leaves, but not outside of them, if that makes sense. Perfect. So my tree is all put together. Now we can put away the soft suede, and we'll do the little, I guess it's like a little path, the little, whatever the tree sits in, I'm going to do in smoky slate. And again, I am going to stamp off once. So I inked it up, stamping off, and then stamping on the cardstock. So our tree is finished. Now we can move on to our inside of our card and the outside panel. So first for the inside, I'm going to take my Evening Evergreen. I'm going to take the little splatter speckly things. I think they're supposed to be like leaves or pebbles. I don't know. But I'm taking Evening Evergreen, and I'm putting one in each corner. And then we will take the sentiment, "You truly inspire me," because all this week I am talking about inspiration and uplifting and New Year's and all kinds of fun things. We only have 3 weeks left of 2023, which is crazy. I don't want to put that away yet. What I do want to do is clean my stamps and get them put away so I don't lose any of them. I have my Stampin' Mist that I just sprayed onto my Stampin' Scrub. And this is a super quick and easy way to clean your stamps and have them ready to go. And if you would like to win a Simply Chamois, or not win, but get a Simply Chamois, you can place an order of $50 or more in my online store using the host code. I am giving a free Simply Chamois away with every order over $50 that uses the host code. That is also a quick and easy way to clean your stamps. So I'm going to put these stamps back in the case, and then we can work on our outside panel for our card. For the outside panel of our card, what I mean by that is this outside layer here. You can see it's embossed, but it also has a little bit of color on there. And how we're going to do that is by using a blending brush. So I'm going to take the Evening Evergreen ink pad. I'm going to dip my brush into it, and you can see I already did it on that card before. I'm going to start off onto my grid paper and then slowly work up onto my cardstock. And this is just regular basic white cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And then once I get color deposited, it's kind of random. Don't worry about the middle because we're covering that up. But once I get the color deposited where I want it, I'm going to then emboss it with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And some spots have more ink than others. That's exactly what I want because I'm going to be using the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder, and that's kind of like a vintagey looking letter embossing folder. I'll show you that in just a minute. But I do want to get like one edge darker than the rest. I just want some of it to be really Evening Evergreen and some of it just to be kind of light. So I'm kind of really working this corner here and getting it super dark. And then just kind of blending out. And I'm going in a circular motion so I don't get any big blobs or streaks. And then I'm just going to go all around. And like I said, don't really worry about the middle too much. I'm mostly getting the edges. So now that that's finished, all I'm going to do to clean my blending brush is I'm just going to take a little tiny dab of dish soap and run it under warm water, and it'll be good to go for next time. So now I'm going to use the Time Worn Type 3D embossing folder. That's really hard to say, and it's really hard to not make it sound like time worm, and it's not a worm. Time Worn Type. And what this does is it'll make it look almost like an old letter. It's very vintagey looking. I just love it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine using the platform and plate number 4. And I'll be right back and we can assemble our card. So now it is all embossed and ready to go. And look at this. It sometimes gets stuck. But look at the detail on there. And sometimes I'll even take and kind of go over it a little bit because there's still a little bit of ink left on this blending brush just to get those words to pop a little bit more. So now we're ready to assemble our card. Let me just put my embossing folder away. I have a Evening Evergreen card base that is 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5 1/2, and we're going to lay our embossed panel on that. Then I have a piece of Evening Evergreen that is 4 1/2 by 3 1/4, and that is going to go with our tree that we stamped that is 4 1/4 by 3. Yep. And that's going to layer on there. Before I put that down, though, what I want to do is add a little bit of ribbon. So I'm going to take my seal, go over the whole thing, and I'm going to kind of rough measure my ribbon using the Evening Evergreen because it's only a 1/4 inch bigger. And I'm going to wrap this around the front. So I'm just taking and I'm sticking it to the adhesive, wrapping it around the front. And sometimes it will stick up a little bit. What I like to do is we'll first put this on our Evening Evergreen piece, and I'll show you my little trick. Sometimes I'll either take Seal Plus or a glue dot. I think I'm going to take a glue dot because my corner is wanting to stick up as well. We just take a glue dot, and I know that my bow is going to go about here-ish. So it'll hide that glue dot under there. I made the, oops, I got stuck to my fingernail. I made the ribbon a little too taut. is why it's sticking up like that, but I'm just going to take a glue dot and stick it down. And now we can take some more seal and stick this to our embossed piece. And then we can put seal on this, stick it to our base, and then I'm going to show you an easy way I learned how to make a bow. So I was just scrolling through YouTube one day, and I saw how to make a bow with a fork. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way that it's that easy. And it totally is. Changed my life. And now that's how I make bows forever. So I'm going to show you the fork trick. So, see, I have my fork here. I have one that I just keep in my craft room now, and it's my bow fork. So what I do is I take my ribbon, and I just kind of eyeball how much I think I'm going to need. That looks about right. I'm going to cut it at an angle. Move that to the side. So then you just take your ribbon and make almost, hold it up so it doesn't fall on my hands, almost like a V shape. And you take this first top piece and bring it down under through the middle. My fingers aren't working today. This is why I have a hard time with bows, because my fingers just don't work. But then you pull that, pull it tight, and then you take the bottom part and wrap it over and through the middle like that. And then you just tie it. And you can mess with it. You can make sure it's how you want it. What I like to do is turn the fork backwards and just pull so that it's down. And then I cut my edges off before I take it off. It's just easier. Cut my tails. And cut this one a little bit more. There. And now we have a bow. Easy. A lot easier than watching me try to struggle with one. So before I put my glue dots away, I'm going to take one and stick my bow to it. I'm going to push really hard and hope this doesn't unravel. There we go. And then I'm just going to put it where I had that other glue dot. So about there-ish. And that is our card. And I have to add some embellishment, some bling. We always have to have bling. I put it away though. So I have some of the 2021-2023 in color opal rounds. I only have a few left because I love these so much, but I'm going to be using Evening Evergreen. And what I decided to do is put a big one down there and then a smaller one next to it and then a small one up top. And that is our card. And I pretty much made it exactly the same. So yay. This one looks like the Evening Evergreen's a tad bit darker. I don't know, maybe my stamp was more juicier, but they're pretty much the same. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy talking about inspiring, uplifting things this week and New Year's. So have a great week, everyone. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I want to thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.